Hi everybody, hope everybody is doing well. So this reading is going to be about Liam Payne. If you don't know who he was a member of One Direction. He fell from a balcony last week in Buenos Aires and passed away. He was 31 years old. Authorities are currently still investigating the circumstances around his death. He leaves behind a 7-year-old son with former girlfriend Cheryl Cole, as well as his parents and 2 sisters. Before Liam fell, there was an incident in the lobby of the hotel where he was acting aggressively. He smashed his laptop. Security, I believe, had to carry him from the lobby to his hotel room. There, they said he jumped. Witnesses said he jumped. There's pictures circulating of his hotel room, which was a mess, and the pictures showed drug residue, drug paraphernalia. I just heard before I started doing this video that there was multiple drugs in his system. Cocaine, pink cocaine, crack, which is just another form of cocaine. And that's all I can remember at the moment. What I find interesting about the case is that 2 days before Liam fell, he called his girlfriend widow. What I also found interesting was that a couple days before his death, an ex-girlfriend, a different woman, released a scathing book that he was abusive. He used to manipulate her using death. So I'm wondering if the widow was just an expression of that same behavior. I did shuffle before. This is my 3rd time trying to do this video. And the sun came out in reverse, which is light in this deck, which made me feel like he didn't know what was happening at the time of his fall, and that we may never know. And the vision that I keep getting is 2 people holding his arms and his legs and like swinging him and tossing him over. That's just the vision I had. We'll see what the cards say. Could be different. I did shuffle these, I swear. I'm not shuffling them again. Just in case I have to start over once again. So this card is material and spiritual prosperity in reverse, which is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. This card typically has a person giving pentacles to 2 people that are on their knees. So this makes me feel like Liam Payne was not producing the money that was either required of him. I think it's both. Required of him and that he requested. The feeling that I get is like his career was not going as planned. He was not making the money that he wanted. He had lost support. And the feeling I get is that he was incapable of performing. Why? I just heard mask. Yeah, there was something like dysfunctional. That's the only word I can think to use in terms of being able to perform. It's like he couldn't or form. So we'll keep going and we'll see what else comes out. Okay. I keep getting this like uneasy feeling. Third eye chakra, which is I see, and fertility, which is the Empress. It's like I don't see progress. I don't see being able to carry on. I don't see growth. This feeling I get is like his creativity was blocked. And there's also an issue about being truly loved. There's something about his mother, something about connection with the mother. There was like a lack of a connection with his mother, and therefore a lack of feeling completely loved. And I feel like that was holding him back. It's like he couldn't create. He like was blocked. He had like creator's block, or I think it's called writer's block, creator's block. New beginnings, yeah, which is the Fool. And foundations and achievements, which is the Four of Wands. He just wanted to stay home. He didn't want to work. And that's a problem when you are a product. Especially a young one, such as himself. And handsome. He was a very handsome guy. Like, he could have done many things, but there was this blockage inside of him that, like, there was no love that was enough. And he couldn't feel love. And it was stopping him from being productive. Fulfillment of wishes, which is the Nine of Cups. Unhappiness. Movement, choices, and decisions, which is the Two of Pentacles. It's like, I am not happy with what you are doing. In terms of money, how you're making money, how you're spending money. It's like, he was not a good, I hate to say this, he was not as good solo-wise as he was while he was in the group. And that was an issue. The feeling that I'm getting right now is like very uneasy, and it feels like this is tying back to the group. It's like to bring back attention to the group. Why? Like, these are not kids anymore, you know? Like, okay. Rest and rejuvenate, which is the Four of Swords. And wisdom. The feeling I get is he knew this was coming. and he was okay with it. I think because he was depressed anyway. Why the struggle at the end? I just heard manipulation. Disruption, which is the Tower card. Isn't that interesting? It's like this card is that, like, usually there's two people falling out of a tower. Okay, these two cards make me feel like when I fell, I was not conscious. Also makes me feel like not falling was fine also. The feeling I'm getting is that he was not conscious when he fell over that balcony. But knew it was coming. Because he was not being productive. And the feeling I get is like worth more deceased than alive. Fertility. Again. Empress. It's like growth. Like he couldn't be productive because he has an issue that stems back to childhood, that he didn't feel loved by his mother. True or untrue, but that is the way that he felt. And it cropped up, I guess. Crown chakra. The feeling I get is similar to Whitney Houston. It's like I know that I'm loved. To me, this is like, again, symbolizes. It's like I know I'm loved, but it's like I don't feel it. It never goes past the first step, you know? It doesn't deepen. It's superficial. It's like he's like blocked. It's like even though he has all the fans, you know, love him, celebrate him, it's like he can't feel it. It's like it didn't develop. Base chakra, which is I have, and this is my death card, spiritual strength, which is the 9 of Wands. I have no death. I don't think he jumped. But I feel like he knew there was trouble. But I don't believe he jumped. I believe when he went over that balcony, he was not conscious. The feeling I get is like injection. It's like I was asleep when I fell. Again, my death card, spiritual strength, which is the 9 of Wands. It's like I didn't know I was dead. like when it was happening, he had no idea that he was gonna die, which makes me feel like he was not conscious. Which could be drug induced, right? If you're like out of touch with reality, but the cards are making me feel like asleep. Like not hallucinating, not acting erratically. If he was acting erratically and fighting, it would show me the 7 of Wands. Let's see if it comes up. Or the 5 of Wands. I'm wondering if he went down to the lobby because he was trying to get away. Positive movement forward. 8 of Pentacles, sorry. Yeah, look at that. Power, strength. The only thing that matters is if I'm making money. It's like I'm a workhorse that wasn't working. And that was a problem. I feel like there was chances. What's on the bottom? I didn't know. Crown chakra. I didn't know. And the problem with him working is that he couldn't. Drugs, I'm sure, did not help. But it's like he's just like creatively blocked. Because he didn't feel loved. He felt like empty. Memories of love. 6 of Cups. So this makes me feel like it wasn't always this way. What changed? I just heard coping. He lost his ability to cope. Passion ignited. Ace of Wands. Firm foundation, which is the 4 of Pentacles. It's like they wanted me to be like I was before, and I wasn't. It's like, this makes me feel like I had enough money. I didn't want to make any more money. But it's like they wanted me to repeat what has already been so they could make more money. But I had enough money. I think that's the problem with being a celebrity, being a star, is you're viewed as something that is almost inhuman. You work. You know what I mean? You don't get to rest. You do what I say. You make us money. That's what you do. So when you stop doing that, not good. For them, obviously. The waiting game, which is the 2 of Wands. Yeah, they wanted to make the past into the future. And I think that he didn't want to. He was like resisting it, but like knowing the consequences of his actions. Moving on, which is the 6 of Swords. He was adamant about just wanting to be alone. Like, he just wanted to do something different, and they were pushing him to go backwards, and he didn't want to. Patience and planning, which is the Seven of Pentacles in regular tarot. It's like, I have enough money, but they're pushing me to make more money. All these plans, all these ideas, all those places they want me to go. And it's like, I don't want to. I have enough. Oh my God. Heart chakra, which is I love. There's something about using his girlfriend to try to push him back into the spotlight where he didn't really want to be. To like convince him. And I think they tried to convince him, like, no, like, remember the good, like, they try to remember all the good times, we can do it again, you know? But he was like, no, I want, which is the sacral chakra. This is what he wanted, and he was determined that he wanted to move on from being in the spotlight. I just heard he hated it. He hated it. The feeling I keep getting is like there's a price for disobedience, and he was being disobedient. Did he cost them money? No, I think it was like he was not in debt, so to speak. He was being pushed to do more, and he did not want to. Disruption. I should probably move this so you guys can see that I'm pulling from the top. Okay, disruption, which is the Tower card. Again, it's like I have enough money, but there's all these opportunities, and I don't want them. Like, he was stopping the opportunities from occurring by being defiant, doing drugs, being incapacitated, not following up on appointments, being unruly. And I feel like it was certain that he was not going to cooperate. I don't believe he jumped. Love begins. Ace of Cups. It's like using love to inspire him to get back on the job. But he was saying no. It's going to be a no card. Yeah, new beginnings. Fool. It's like my passion now is to move on from this and start anew. Like, he was pretty adamant that I don't know what his idea of a new plan was. What was it? I just heard the word solo. Are they wanting to get One Direction back together? And he was saying no? I just heard scared and scarred. Something happened when he was in the group that was not ideal. I think they were trying to get the group back together for something, and he was saying no. Okay. He did not want to participate in anything One Direction any longer, and that was the problem. He was holding back the project. I think One Direction was quite the moneymaker. I'll have to look it up after if anyone knows how much they were made over the lifetime of the group. I think it was quite a lot, and I think that whoever sponsored them or managed them or paid for them to travel and such wanted them back together so they could make more money, and he was saying no. Fulfillment of wishes. Knight of Cups. Why would they use love? I think they knew that was his weakness because of all of his issues. Nine of Cups is fulfillment of wishes is the Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's like, I have enough money, but we want to make more money. I threw a wrench in it because I want to do my own thing. I want to be happy. I don't want to be at the mercy of other people. I don't want to be in the group situation any longer. Yeah, that's it. But it's like, to me this feels like, look, the powers that be want to make more money. And I bet they are making more money as we speak because everyone's going back. They're listening to their old One Direction favorites. I'm sure there will be movies and documentaries about him and so forth. So this was about, look at Shadow. To me, this is the Moon card in regular. It's like, I'm here, but I want to be here now. I don't want to go back and be the person that I used to be. I'm not that person anymore. Movement, choices, decisions, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, how I make my money. What I decide to do. I have moved on. I am not going back. I want to do something solo. I don't want to be in the group anymore. And that's what he was saying. So I feel like his creative block was because he didn't want to be in the group anymore. He's dealing with issues stemming from his childhood that he was trying to work out. I think that being in the group has a lot to do with him not feeling loved, because it's like, I'm in this group, do they love me or do they love the group? It's like he wanted to be solo to see if the love was truly for him, as opposed to being the member of a group where any one of them could have been chosen. It's very interesting. Okay. Oops. Triumph, which is a chariot. Yeah, like he was trying to leave, to move on, to move forward. And they were trying to bring him back. That voice, or that famous line, I think it's from The Godfather? Correct me if I'm wrong, where he says, I keep trying to get out and they keep pulling me back. I think that's The Godfather. I'll have to look it up. It's a famous line, anyway. Transformation. Death card. It's like, I was trying to kill the old me. And you know what's interesting about these cards is, it's like I had memories from the past of love, but the future, I want to be loved on my own. 6 to the 1. You see what I'm saying? Death to the old me. And they didn't want that for him. They want him to be connected to One Direction, do some sort of project, tour, concert, whatever. And he was saying no. I mean, you gotta, like, he's 31 years old. They must all be similarly around the same age. Like, it's time to grow up, right? But they're saying no because the money that could be made. Girls that loved them then will love them again, right? It's kind of like, I'm aging myself, but my generation was like New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys. Women still to this day, and they're old, go and see them. And even when I hear the song, I still know every word, you know? So the same applies. One Direction was probably, excuse my nails, probably just as famous, if not more so. Financial and material changes, which is the 5 of Pentacles, which is like a lost card. Yeah. What he wanted to do didn't make enough money, being solo. Yeah, I think Liam was pushed. And I think the reason is because he didn't want to cooperate with some sort of upcoming One Direction project. He wanted to be solo. He wanted to do things on his own. He was trying to sort out issues related to his childhood in which he did not feel loved, particularly by his mother. Whether that is true or untrue, that's how he felt. He was kind of like searching. Was he doing drugs? I just heard sort of. Because he was rebelling. You can't do concerts if you're effed up, right? And I think whatever reached a point where it was like they knew they couldn't change his mind. Look, again, fertility, Empress. He was trying to move on. He kept trying to move on. He was not cooperating. He was refusing. So I think, allegedly, he was eliminated. Because One Direction is not One Direction if there's a member missing. yet still alive, right? No one is going to want to patronize a group that's missing its member, which I think is totally untrue. But it's kind of like a blot, and if he's still alive, they can't make as much money because, like, the money that they make, people revisiting their favorite songs upon his death, mourning, purchasing items, merchandise in memorial for him if he's still alive. So less money. Did he jump? No, he did not jump. Foundations and achievements. Okay. He wanted to be a homebody. He wanted to kill the old him and just start again. Be at home. Do what he wants to do. Not be at the beck of call of others. Like, which is the sun, which came out when I shuffled the first time. It's like, what he was doing was not making enough money, and it was being realized. He must have had like an album flop or something. It was obvious that he was not as successful, and maybe none of them are without each other, but he was adamant that he wanted to remain solo. Universe, which is the world card. Yeah. He was adamant about leaving, and they put an end to it. Yeah, like, I didn't know. Okay, so the question is, was he pushed or did he fall? He was pushed. When he fell, he was not conscious. He was not conscious. He had no clue what was happening at the time, but I don't know if he was like, yeah. But the thing about it is, like, even though he wasn't like fully conscious upon his passing, he knew the consequences of what he was doing by saying no. He knew there would be repercussions, serious ones. I just heard, I've seen it before. So there's someone else that he is acquainted with that tried the same thing and was reprimanded. I just heard intensely at the same time as abused. So, like, I don't think it went, their disobedience wasn't to the point of death, but they were harshly punished. I just heard a beating. Something else? I feel like there's more that wants to come out, but I'm gonna cut it off there. If I feel like there's anything else, I'll do another reading. But I feel sad for him because it's like when you become assigned, I'll just say assigned contract employee, it's like you lose your control over your whole life. You become literally a slave to the whoever you have signed over basically your life to. You don't feel like making money? Too bad. You don't feel like getting out of bed today? Too bad. You know? It's like, even though we normal people have jobs, our job is not going to come and off us if we don't come to work today. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a whole nother level. You'll get fired, okay, but you don't get murked, right? So I would say pray for these celebrities, because they're in a tough spot, and I don't think they're aware when they get involved initially of how serious it is. So we need, pray for them, because it's not an easy thing to be a celebrity, that's for sure. I think we're seeing that so many different cases, like for instance what P. Diddy was doing to celebrities, blackmailing them basically for what, hits? So yeah, I will stop here and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.